Still really cold.
Yeah.
But being dry is kind of okay. You can cover up, but once you're soaked, it's just survival.
Most definitely.
And especially, that 4 times up Merhawi is not ever going to be easy. So when you get there and you're already cold, you're going to be in trouble. It might be, your hands are
fine. Cepeda. If we look at the general, this is a first attack by Mario Aparicio of the Burgos. I think this is Merhawi Kudus. It is indeed.
Yeah.
And Paul Double.
And if you look at Paul Double, he looks like he's going to go over the top here because
indeed.
That was a lead out for him almost into this next section.
Now we can see that in that first group, the rider for Breakaway, but this is a struggle for Mark Donovan as well. Paul Double in the colours of kilometer. Will today then finally be that day that he gets his very first professional win? Started his career with Zappi's racing team, the iconic team, but now he has trouble following this attack by Merhawi Kudus. Kudus goes up and over Lopez. Merhawi Kudus, 30 years of age, of course, former rider of Astana, Kazakhstan, but that was before he Lopez joined the World Tour team. So now we've got 2 leaders, Merhawi Kudus, the 30-year-old from Eritrea, and Harold Lopez from Ecuador. Sadly, in 2023, there was no new contract for Merhawi Kudus with EF Education Easy Post, and found himself a home with the Terengganu team of Malaysia. Raced the Alula Tour, raced the Tour of Oman, the Tour of Rwanda, African Games, and now the Presidential Tour of Turkey in the lead. Mount Spil, after 160.1 kilometers. We had a breakaway of 5 riders with Jonas Ricard, Negazi Abraha, Petros Mengs, Norbert Banashek, and Feridkan Zamli. But the last remaining rider of our breakaway, Abraha, was caught at about 9 kilometers to go. There were counterattacks by his teammate Filippo Conca and a counterattack by Harold Martin Lopez of Astana, Kazakhstan. Now we're in the final 3 kilometers. We see that Merhawi Kudus has bridged across to our leader, to Lopez, and left him behind. And Merhawi Kudus, the 30-year-old from Eritrea, representing Terengganu's cycling team, a 3rd division team from Malaysia, is in the lead as we are approaching the final 3 kilometers of this climb. If we look at the general classification of the 59th edition of the Tour of Turkey, we find him, Merhawi Kudus, in 10th place, Pippa, just 24 seconds down on our race leader, Tobias Lund Andresen. But as you can imagine, in a mountain stage like this one, we left all those sprinters behind, and Merhawi Kudus seems to be on his way to something rather fantastic. 6 wins in his career. That was 2 stages in Rwanda, and that was 3 national championships. So he's looking rather well. Paul Double representing the UK there for kilometer. Frank van der Broek for the DSM Firmenich PostNL team. We still have Vadim Pronsky and Lopez for Astana, Kazakhstan. And also in the blue of the Terengganu team, I think it might also be the other team in blue, is the teammate of this man, of Merhawi Kudus. But he's looking really well, doesn't he, Pippa?
Yeah, he's climbing this part really well, really well. So this is the hardest section, up to 2 kilometers to go. Now it's going to ease up just slightly to 5% or so, and then to 3% into the last kilometer. So, if you can keep this pace up and hold off the others, he's got a good chance of going through the line. But you can see,
first professional win, but that could also go for Frank van der Broek, the young Dutchman with number 13. They're making their way across to our leader as we approach our final kilometer. I think all 3 riders still are within a good possibility actually of winning this race. We have pole double also at 24 seconds, and Frank van der Broek is also at 24 seconds. So it might actually come down to the bonus seconds that we have on the line. If we look at the meters of elevation there, we are at 1173, and that means that we only have 50 meters of elevation left to go in the final kilometer and a bit.
Yeah, so this is where it levels off, and who's the strongest? So whether he's going to be the strongest in the sprint remains to be seen, but now it's kind of eased off to that 5%, and then we go into 3% for the last kilometre. It's going to be hard for him to distance the others, so he has to keep the pressure on and hurt them as much as he can.
But both Frank van der Broek and Bart Lemme really made a name for themselves. Bart Lemme promoted in the Tour of Turkey, both stage wins by Tobias Lund Andresen and of course Fabio Jakobsen on the opening day. But it could also be the day that Paul Double is going to get his first professional. It's then made his way to Italy with the team of MGK FIS, Human Powered Health, for 2 years too. And we're now inside the final kilometre, I assume. The GPS, there we have it. The GPS is still on 2 kilometres, but this is the final kilometre. Paul Double looks very strong, as does Frank van der Broek and of course Merhawi Kudus. Those are the 3 riders who are going to sprint it out for the stage win, and the one coming across the line first is automatically also going to be our no race leader. Is there a mechanical there for Merhawi Kudus? He's raising his hand.
Yeah.
He's raising his hand. His young teammate, METKEL EYOB, also from Eritrea, is not that far behind. He's on his wheel now of our early attacker, Harold Lopez. He was raising his hand. He is continuing, but it might be a slow puncture. I wonder why he was raising his hand. Of course, he's not asking for a feed in the final kilometre. Looks like the 2 chasers, Lopez and METKEL EYOB, are losing ground. And Paul Double, he's absolutely giving everything, and I feel that Frank van der Broek might be the one profiting from all the work that Paul Double is doing here. The attack, the first attacker was the man in blue, was Merhawi Kudus. We've seen him on Astana, we've seen him on EF Education, where he sadly didn't get a new contract, but this might be the moment that he is going to prove that he's still one of the best climbers. 3 riders in the lead, 3 chasers, because Victor Laganlotti has now joined the chase as well, but it might be too late. It's not the steepest of gradients in that final kilometre. As we approach the finish line, it's 400 metres to go, 400 metres to go. This is the entry gate to the National Park. Paul Double in first place. Frank van der Broek, he's eyeing the competition. And Merhawi Kudus in 3rd position. They are going to sprint it out for the win in the Queen stage. And Frank van der Broek is the one opening the attack. Paul Double, sadly, is paying for the effort. Frank van der Broek on his way to his first professional win. He's got the name. Does he also have the win? Kudus is still not beaten. We're not at the line just yet. Merhawi Kudus, he initiated this attack. Frank van der Broek, Merhawi Kudus. It's Frank van der Broek winning. And also the new leader, Merhawi Kudus in 2nd and Paul Double in 3rd place, despite all the work that he did. This is Lopez in 4th, and METKEL EYOB looks to be the rider in 4th place, or just in 4th place is EYOB, and in 5th it's METKEL is Lopez. But it's a first moment to get your first professional win. Frank van der Broek, look him up. He is he's a special young guy.
Yeah, that was,
Merhawi Kudus geliyor alkışlarınızla. 30 yaşındaki Eritreli 4. kez turda. Genel klasmanda her zaman özel işler çıkardı. Bugünkü ikinciliği için belki çok mutlu olamadı ama müthiş performansla takımını zirveye taşıyan isim oluyor. Merhawi Kudus. Alkışlar geliyor onun için.
In 2019, Merhawi was the 3rd in general classification of the Tour of Turkey. And also this year, he's going to be ranked very high in the general classification.
Merhawi, congratulations again. Ve etap birincisine sıra geldi. Now it's time to call for our winner of the 6th stage presidential cycling Tour of Turkey.